by Tim Sheens, of course, and there you can see the players just going through some ball skills. No Hyington, Hallertau or Elford tonight. Disappointing against Bradford in the World Club Challenge, but of course there was no Benji Marshall.
Pete, it's what I say all the time, that their trial form was poor, but these guys are totally different when Benji Marshall's in the side. He's more than just a player. He gives them confidence, he gives them arrogance. It'll be a different side tonight.
Well, they did have 2 victories over the Dragons last year, and here are the Red and Whites.
Yeah, the Dragons at fullback, we've got Clint Greenshields. On the wings, Reece Simmons and Wes Nguama. In the centres, how would you like these two in your team? Mark Gasnier and Matt Cooper. Now, the word is they're going to play on the same side of the field tonight, try and link up a lot more in attack. In the halves, Trent Barrett is the captain. They welcome him back. He's only played the half a trial game, and Ben Hornby. The back row, now this is interesting. No Lance Thompson, no Sean Timmins, no Ben Cray. They've been replaced by Corey Payne, Andrew Price and Ashton Sims. This could be the key for the Dragons tonight. In the front row, good front row. Luke Bailey, Dean Young, Jason Riles, a strong bench. Justin Poor and Michael Henderson, Matt Bickerstaff and Aaron Gorrell.
2:37 first grade games for Simpkins. We're underway. Welcome to the season. You enjoy it. Friday night football on 9. The big men clash in the first encounter of the season. 12 metres away from their line. That is Gibbs, grand final try scorer. Now off to his partner in crime, Scandalis. Tackled by the back rower, Andrew Price, from Newcastle to the Dragons. 30-metre line for Farah. And then Hodgson, not frightened to go from dummy half early. And he caught them inside the 10. No, he's got him around the head, and you will see a lot of that. I would think in the early rounds they have been told to really clamp down on anything around the neck or the head, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a grapple tackle.
Well, Trent Barrett went up to the referee and said he fell into the tackle, Brett Hodgson. As Robbie Farah restarts inside the 40.
This is Galena. 32 metres out from the Dragons line. Going down the left side. Going down the eastern side and down the middle now, Scandalis. And there's a little knock on. So that's is bad play really by the Tigers. A very early tackle.
It's been loose.
And it's going to be Dragons loose head and feed. 22 metres out from their own line, centre ground.
And very interesting, Ray, tonight, this opening 10 or 15 minutes, the Tigers normally so good at starting. They were the best performed team in scoring the first try last season. The Dragons would nearly make a bust through Corey Payne. They've only won their opening game once in the last 7 years. That was back in 2001.
And trouble for one of the Tigers, I think it's Fulton, who's down in back play. He can't get to his feet at the moment. The Dragons surging down the right side with Riles just inside the 40-metre point on the eastern touchline. The centre Gasnier comes away to halfback Hornby, who is met by Farah, not put down. Gasnier lively in this exchange. He links up with Cooper over on the left side of the ground. It started on the extreme right, finished on the opposite side of the park, 30 metres away from the Tigers line. The gunner for Barrett. Barrett looking for runners, deciding to run. Held, and in an upright tackle he'll play the ball, and there's the problem in back play now for Gasnier. So we've got a couple down as Cooper can't get a catch on it, and it finds the sideline 20 metres away from the Tigers line.
All sorts of problems for Liam Fulton. They've already put the hand up to get him off. I think you'll find it's a left shoulder injury. Fortunately for the Dragons, Mark Gasnier is up and making his way back into position. But Liam Fulton, he reacted very quickly. Bossy, you're down there close. What's the story?
And also saw him in the dressing room before the game. There's a lot of strapping on that left shoulder. You saw him fall off the tackle that he was trying to commit on Andrew Price. Straight away, agonising. The pain he was in. Trainer went straight to him. Game over, you'd reckon, Liam Fulton.
He had a wonderful season last year. Almost robotic is the best way that I can think to describe his performances through last year. So the Tigers then... They come off the mistake from the Dragons. Both sides have made just the one error in the opening minutes of the new season as Farah goes away to Todd Payton, and Payton coming on to replace Fulton, and a penalty goes to the Tigers. Hand on the ball is the ruling by Simpkins.
They're very enthusiastic, the Dragons. They're sprinting up in numbers, looking for big hits. They've given away a couple of penalties, but I don't think that will worry them. As I said before the game, they're highly motivated here tonight. They're showing it in the early exchanges.
Payton running this play at Bailey, 42 metres away from the Dragons line. Now Marshall and the little run around with Farah. They go back to Fadawira on the 40-metre line. They find Hodgson. Hodgson throws the dummy. He throws it again. He goes between them. He's down. Tackled 22 metres away from the Dragons line. Beautiful play by the Tigers. Farah again. Then Scandalis. Now Galea. Cut-out pass on the back. It goes to Prince and then it goes to Marshall. Marshall's put down. 7 metres away from the line. Southern into the ground. And here's the Tigers with a grubber kick. In behind and batted away by the Dragons. Line drop out. Saved back there by Simmons. The number 2. It was urgent. They had pressed the button. This was absolutely scintillating play by the Tigers.
It certainly was, and that's the first question answered here tonight. What sort of style of play would the Tigers bring to 2006? Well, let me say it's a replica of their season-ending drive last year. Ball movement. Ball started on the left-hand side of the field, quickly to the right, half break, back to the left, little kick in behind the line. They've got the full bag of tricks here tonight.
Fitzhenry marking the line dropout. He didn't really want to take any part there, Fitzhenry. He only passed a fitness test today. Now they're 12 metres away with the same player playing the ball now. Now Farah goes to Scandalis, who centres play over towards the uprights, and Bailey is there together with Riles, and Young is the third man over the top. Don't know about his necessity. Farah, cut out ball, finding Prince, bumps away from Barrett, gets it on to Marshall. Fadawira will score. Fadawira's in. First try of the new season. Paul Fadawira, the Kiwi international. He has scored wideouts in the southeastern corner after the mercurial halfbacks. They've done it again, the 7 and the 6.
And for 80 minutes in the World Cup Challenge, we didn't see the West Tigers throw the football more than 2 or 3 passes wide of the ruck. Already they've launched, and if we freeze it there, the fact that they have got players going through in that direction brings in Trent Barrett. Now when Barrett comes in as play continues and misses the tackle, in fact it's the man inside, all of a sudden the overlap is created. Reece Simmons had to come up. He had to make a decision to come up. But Trent Barrett, by coming in and missing the tackle, bouncing off the tackle, allowed the overlap to develop. There comes the number 6 in. That's a great shot of the miss, and then all sorts of strife.
Oh, that's great camera work. You feel like you're down there on the sideline, don't you? Right near the action. Remember in the final last year, the Tigers went predominantly left at Colin Best on that side of the field. No Colin Best there tonight. Reece Simmons, but that doesn't stop them targeting down there. It's the second time they've looked dangerous down the left. Decoy runners, quick ball movement, good footwork, good football, good try.
Brett Hodgson with the kick. 308 points in 2005, and there he is from almost on the touchline and just missing it. Barrett knew it was a bad miss. He went out there to try and recover, and he failed only by a matter of seconds to wrap Fadawira up. That's Gibbs, who's tackled on the restart. 10 away from his own line. The opening night of rugby league, 2006 style on Friday Night Football on 9. With the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games live and exclusive, the game's exclusive. It starts Wednesday night. 25 metres out from their own line. Scandalis plays the ball, and running away with the ball is, I think, the centre, Collis. Almost out to the 40-metre line. Possession, a glut of it there for the Tigers. 75-25, that tells the story. And it's reflected on the scoreboard. Scandalis to play the ball now. Just a few metres on his own side of halfway. Farah is 9, Hodgson is 1. The big 4 are there tonight as the ball is piloted across by Prince, another one of the 4 that I'm referring to. That's Simmons, who's tackled on his own 20-metre line and picked up there. That's Prince, the kicker, retiring back to the defensive line. And now it's Greenshields who's put away. 25 metres out from his own line. That is Mark Gasnier, who's been a dummy half a few times. One of the back rowers, that is Payne, the second rower. And now Gasnier again. Very busy tonight, Mark Gasnier. 5 metres from the halfway line. Scandalis was one tackler, and the other was Lafranchi. Riles goes up the middle. Bailey links up with him. Ball is floated. It's over to Price. He got the ball away to Cooper. Cooper goes down the left side. Cooper refuses to go down. Now he's tackled 15 metres away from the line, close to the western touchline. Fifth tackle is with us. Nagama goes to Barrett. Barrett goes to the boot. It goes floating over towards Gasnier, but it's knocked on over there. They get a repeat set. Knocked on by Marshall. Some threatening clouds coming in with the twilight tonight as the Dragons win this all-important scrum, and it is with Barrett, who was largely responsible for the Tigers getting that try. He'll want to get it right now. Hornby goes close to the line. Pulled down by Gibbs, a desperation tackle by the big prop, and he hangs on too long. That should really be a sin bin, but it's not. And here's Bailey on the charge. High tackle, penalty Dragons. Bailey heading for the Gold Coast next year. Gibbs got him with a high shot. In fact, I thought Gibbs should have got really been given a professional foul.
He's got it fixed up. Trainer or not, mate. Still got the mouth, mate. Cause damage. It's on report, yeah.
So it's on report, the tackle from Gibbs on Bailey.
There's two quick penalties in a row, but I don't know that either advantage St George. Now the Tigers get set again and the Dragons have got to start again.
Here's Riles aiming it towards the right-hand upright. 2 metres away for Dean Young, a dummy half. And the ball is long and floating to Barrett. Then back it comes to Price. And he will play the ball 9 metres out from the line. Running towards the northern end. Young goes to Bailey. Bailey is taken by Scandalis. Prop on prop. And Farah had a piece of the tackle. Young goes back the other way. And the Dragons go close, but not close enough. Held up is Payne, the number 11. To Young, and to the right they go for Barrett, who then feigns a kick and offloads, and Gasnier's over. There's the second try of the night. It's one apiece now with the centres Fadawira, and now Gasnier for the Dragons scoring a try.
Dragons are at their best when they can get some consecutive sets. They were able to do that when the kick was spilled by Benji Marshall off the boot of Trent Barrett. A couple of quick penalties. They were camped in the 20-metre zone of the opposition, and eventually there's that much class and talent in this side. Someone is going to get through, and it's no surprise it's Mark Gasnier. Brett Hodgson is there, so too Jamal Alisi. But Gasnier, who's now scored 14 tries in just 9 appearances against the West Tigers, slams the football down.
Nagama, 9 in from touch on the eastern side, off the 20-metre line. Just away, very similar to the kick earlier from Hodgson. Here's Colin Best, one of 4 big names not on show for the Dragons. Ben Cray, Dean Hallertau, I beg your pardon, Ben Cray, Sean Timmins and Matthew Head. In fact, talking of Colin Best, there he is in the crowd.
Yeah, what a season for Colin Best last year. Just one of 2 players to play every match, and he strooted them, scoring the tries. 20, a long way in front of the next man, Mark Gasnier, as the Dragons up the middle of the ruck, 35 out from their own line.
Yeah, Peter, I like that play. That's a couple of times they've looked one way and gone the other, then hit back in behind to play the ball. A couple of times they've looked dangerous with that. Look where Gasnier is, right in the middle of the field. He knows it's on.
It's on, all right. A couple of punches being thrown there. Payne made the mistake in trying to offload the football, and one of his teammates took exception and threw a couple of haymakers.
I mentioned the unavailables there for the Dragons. Cray, Timmins, Head. Well, Best wasn't unavailable, but you heard Andrew tell us that he made his comeback match in the Premier League. And Hallertau, of course, with Elford and Hyington, the most obvious Tigers that aren't there. Richards, of course, is gone. O'Neill is gone.
Bend together.
So Scott Prince, the former captain, to feed this scrum in the middle of the ground.
Bend together, give him the tunnel. Ball in, out.
Prince then to the right side and the run around, and the dummy from Hodgson back to Galea, who broke from the near side of the scrum
movement. Here it is.
to provide that second run around. Now it's with Hodgson. He runs away from the 40-metre line and turns the ball back into LaFranchi, who hits the defence right on the 30-metre line. Bailey is one of them. Riles was the other. Now Todd Payton. Dummy run from Scandalis. Then it's Benji Marshall running into trouble. And he ran into that trouble because Bryce Gibbs, who was meant for the ball, had gone before Marshall got himself in position. Now it's with Hodgson. 19 out. Middle of the ground. Tigers attacking. 4-all to score. Here comes Prince. Here comes a little kick. Colosai got a hand to it. Nagama has fallen in goal, but it's gone forward off Collis, so they will go back for that ruling against the Tigers. Andrew Voss, sideline.
Yeah, just a further update on Liam Fulton, because I would assume that his dad Mark is here at the ground, but if he's not watching on at home, they have got the shoulder back in place. We're told that Liam won't have to go to hospital tonight, the dislocated left shoulder for Liam Fulton. Unbelievable though, played every game last season, did not miss a game through the 28 matches for the Tigers, and hurt after 2 minutes tonight.
Solid defence there from the Tigers, driving Scandalis together with Galea. Gaznia offloading for Bailey, and Bailey forced back again in a dominant tackle. You heard the voice of referee Paul Simpkins from the Tigers. Now Hornby, dummies to the left before jinking and going up the middle. Reaches his own 20-metre line, plays it back to Gaznia. Put down by Riles, knock on. And then Riles was flung to the ground by Gibbs. Now, a bit of push and shove again.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? The boys are fresh, they're keen, they've got no injuries, their son tanned up, they're muscled up. They've been waiting for a game of footy, so have we. And they're ready to play. A little bit of referee trying to calm it down.
Yeah, you play to the whistle. When I'm calling you out of it, you stay out of it, all right? If there's any more of it, you risk the penalty, all right?
Dean Young. No Michael Ennis at the club this year. He's gone to Brisbane. We're seeing a bit more of Dean Young at dummy half. Now it's with Hodgson. Dummy run. They go out to Marshall. There's the famous step. And then they go through with Lolisi.
Trent Barrett hurt in that attempted tackle once again.
Played by the former Bulldog. Hodgson waiting for them to come to him. Payton is with the ball, driving with the legs. 2 metres away from the line. Now it is with Farah. Fires it back to Prince. Back it comes now. It's gone from Galea out to Collins. It goes to Fitzhenry. They have scored a try, have they? No. Now it's ball forward. I thought Fitzhenry was there. Simpkins has given the indication of a forward pass. Or has he lost it? No, he's lost the ball.
Oh, he's dropped the ball. He's dropped the ball. He's about to put it down, and he's dropped the ball. It deserved a try. Great play. Again, clever use of decoy runners. That's bad luck for Fitzhenry. But it does show again they can get on the outside of this Dragons defence. This is a good game of football, round one.
Well, it's embarrassing for Daniel Fitzhenry. He'd beaten the man. There was no defender within a metre of him, and he spilled it. A real let-off as Jason Riles takes it just outside the 20. They're having all sorts of trouble, the Dragons' defence, coping with these decoy runners, second man plays.
One of the debutants for the Tigers is out there now, Ryan O'Hara.
Yeah, David Middleton is telling that Daniel Fitzhenry used to be a baggage handler. I can see why he took up rugby league. Couldn't keep his job handling the baggage.
Penalty goes to the Dragons. Tackle had been completed. Player with hand on the ball. Dragons will clear from 35 metres out from their own line. And there's the replay of it. It's Farah finding the line to the eastern side of the ground. Jason Riles, he's all fired up. He's lost the ball. It will be a scrum. The frustration comes through again, and again the tempers flare. So 4 points all to score.
Same thing as I said before. It continues on the ground. It'll go against you. You've got the ball at the moment. I'd stay out of it.
Fadawira a try for the Tigers. Gaznia a try for the Dragons. Both goal kickers just missing. And then you just saw Fitzhenry drop the ball when almost over the line. Scrum will see the Tigers go back onto the attack. 5 metres Dragon side of halfway. They go up the middle, and it works for them.
What about that's outrageous.
30 metres out from the line, fantastic play. Galea was the man appointed to put his head down and burrow through. Played there by O'Hara. It's come to Scott Prince. It's gone back to Brett Hodgson. Now it's out to Collis, and he's tackled 9 metres away from the line. Hodgson, the captain, at dummy half now. They're 15 out. Prince shows it, turns it away now. This is Galea, and Galea will be made to play the ball 9 metres away from the Dragons line. Played back to Farah. Farah gets it onto LaFranchi. There's another try. That is a Tiger try to LaFranchi.
Very simple stuff there from the Tigers. Anthony LaFranchi, a try scoring last year's grand final as well. They might be accused of many things, the West Tigers. Being predictable is not one. And that's straight through the meat of the forward pack. Great to watch, innovative. And that's why the Tigers are successful. And then the short raid, the defence, they've had to do a bit lately, the Dragons. They were back on their feet. There was some sort of finish to the season last year. They were 11th at the midway point. And then through some great rugby league, they went through to take the title. Brett Hodgson, he was one of their real stars. And he started off pretty well this season as well.
This kick is coming around, and not quickly enough. So none from 2 for Hodgson, but 8-4 his team leads after 21 minutes. Back at the Olympic Stadium on the 9 Network, your Commonwealth Games network, with the opening ceremony on Wednesday night, the swimming starting on Thursday. This is O'Hara, 19 away from his own line. From Canberra to the Tigers, they've really strengthened up in that back row, that front row area, haven't they? Galloway, Harris from Manly as Farah runs a play over towards the far touchline with LaFranchi underneath the Dragons tackle to the 40-metre line now for John Scandalis. He runs into Luke Bailey and Andrew Price. Playing the ball close to halfway now. Payton to halfway, stops before the line, passes before the line. Hodgson does the same. Prince gets the ball away. Collis gets it on. Fitzhenry does the dance away from the sideline when Nagama put an umbrella around him. Now Collis back for Prince, had to hurry the kick. Drives it down towards the corner. It'll find the line.
Oh, clever. Have a look at the way he kicks his football. Deliberately off the outside of his boot. There's a lot of practice goes into this type of kick. There it goes. He holds it flat across the foot and slices it deliberately, and it lands perfectly. He gets a result. He finds distance and keeps the opposition camped on their own line.
Well, the degree of difficulty in that kick is enormous. To do it under the pressure of someone running at you so close to the sideline, tremendous.
That's Dean Young, I fancy. Yes. Standing out of the forwards and taking the first play from the scrum. That is Cooper, playing on the same side of the ground as Gaznia on that occasion.
Yeah, Justin Paul signed for the Dragons Rain, jersey 14.
11 is Payne. And it's a penalty to the Dragons.
Heads in a dangerous position.
And that's one of those penalties. Gibbs was waiting to come back on there, but that's one of those penalties that I think you'll see more frequently given. They talked about the grapple tackle, but they went further than that. They said any unnecessary tackles around the neck and head, not necessarily in a grapple fashion, will bring a penalty. And that was the request of the coaches. They were the ones that asked for it.
Just been placed on report, Ray. Anthony LaFranchi and Ryan O'Hara, the culprits involved. Now, has he put both players on report, or has he found somebody more guilty in the tackle than the other defender? I guess the tackle will just be looked at as a whole.
Hornby finding the line. 7 metres on the Tiger side of halfway. That's Gorrell in 17 taking the tap. And the ball away quickly to Justin Paul. They've got a lot of big men on the bench. There's one of them coming from the ground, the 11, Corey Payne, and replaced with a bigger man, really, in Justin Paul. 35 metres out from the line now. as it's gone from Bailey, gone to Barrett, now to Wade Cooper. Cooper and Gasnier, same side of the ground again. Gasnier is tackled about 27 metres out from the line, 15 in from touch, eastern side, running towards the northern end of the Olympic Stadium. Barrett away for Bailey. Great tackle on Bailey. Who was it? Galea it was. Ball goes loose. Tigers have got the ball. Scandalous.
He's throwing the football, Luke Bailey, straight back into the arms of John Scandalous. Trent Barrett has come up to question something.
All right, mate. Off we go. We're ready to play. We're playing. Go.
And has been marched. Not having a happy night so far, the number 6.
Trent Barrett, Talbot Simpkins to retire, get away. We're going to play. Get out of it. Marshall double pumping it before O'Hara takes the tackle 40 metres out from the Dragons line now. Tigers on the attack again. Scandalous short passing. Galea likewise. Hodgson, he's been in the thick of the action. He's really been a second 5/8 tonight, Hodgson. Now with Fatawira. Got the first try of the night. 25 metres out from the line. There's the captain. Centre of the ground in the Telstra sign. Farah shows it, does a step, a big step, and then gets the ball away to LaFranchi. Another of the try scorers. 20 metres in from the western touchline. 12 metres out from the uprights. Now it comes from Farah. Goes away to Scotty Prince. Out it goes to Benji Marshall. He gets a decoy run on the inside. Tries to put a kick in. Off the outside edge. Picks the ball up. Lays it back on the ground. Dragons ball. Play on. Dragons away now with Big Bailey. And he's called it back now in the touch, is it?
Yeah, the touch judge has had his flag up since Benji Marshall came up with the loose ball.
That was much better defence by the Dragons. Benji Marshall going across field off the outside of his boot. Now it came off Gasnier. I'm not sure that Gasnier played at it. But I think Marshall has made it dead by the fact he had his foot on the line when he touched the ball. This will be a Dragons feed, I would imagine. Better defence there by the Dragons. The set of decoy runners from the Tigers was a little bit slow that time. Gave them a chance to back off and pick their numbers up better. Made Marshall run across field.
An absorbing game. Tremendous start to the season. Two of our crackerjack sides with Cooper.
Dominant.
This season could easily end the same way as it's starting, really. You'd be a brave man to say that the Tigers won't play the Dragons in the grand final.
Release.
Nagama playing the ball, tackled by Prince. Gasnier trying to catch Prince. Neither of Marker nor back the 10. Gasnier asked the touch judge for an opinion. It's gone from Gorrell over to Hornby, then to Barrett. Barrett searching and probing up the middle.
Let him go.
Dragged down eventually by LaFranchi and Farah. Now it's gone from Gorrell, gone across to the boot of Hornby. Ball floating down for a friendly bounce to Fitzhenry. Comes off his own line now. A ring of Dragons around him. And Hodgson has only got one choice. He's got Collis back with him or take it himself. Penalty drag to the Tigers, I should say. Well, that was a bit dumb. They had them well in their own territory. They had no troops down there and they give away a dumb penalty inside the Tigers' 10-metre line.
Let's go, guys.
Scott Prince shooting for line. Coming up towards the 28th minute of the game. This is Galloway.
Domino, one. Stand now.
From Cronulla. One of those forwards that they bought. As I said, this man as well, O'Hara.
Movement.
So he's really got a full head of steam there as Farah goes up the middle. Hodgson comes in, gets the ball away to Prince. And Prince looking for a quick play of the ball. Hornby all over him. Doesn't give a penalty, Simpkins. It's play on. Tigers down the right side. LaFranchi. Ball goes loose, goes backwards. Picked up by Collis. Given back it away to Fitzhenry. Fitzhenry then comes back to the 30-metre line. And he's met by Dean Young. And also by Ben Hornby. Farah, Prince, back inside. Up the middle run for Gibbs. Tries to unload, does and shouldn't. And the Dragons come up with easy ball. 25 metres out from their own line. Played there by Price to the left side for Cooper, and Cooper is tackled just outside the 30-metre line. Collis, the right side defender for the Tigers. Bailey with another big run. Inspiring run from Bailey. Getting them within 7 metres of halfway. Gorrell gets it on. 14 is Justin Poor. Gibbs missed with his tackle. It was finished off there by O'Hara. It's gone through from Hornby, gone to Barrett. Barrett, now he gives it on to Gaznia. Gaznia goes for full petrol. Grassing tackle by Fatuira. Simmons a dummy half. Barrett is going to pump back on the blind side. Gaznia. Ball comes down with the Tigers. 10 away from their own line.
That was bad luck. It was good play. Barrett and Gaznia combined 2 tackles in a row. Gaznia couldn't find the mark with the last pass, but it was brilliant down that right-hand side.
So the Tigers 25 metres out from their own line with O'Hara playing the ball. That is LaFranchi. Up the middle, able to offload. Hodgson is living on the football. The ball went forward, Dragons with it. And they play on. Played over there by Gorrell. Barrett fires it. It's gone wide to Cooper. Cooper to Nagama. Steps off the left foot twice. Now he puts a semicircle on them. Galloway can't contain him. Ball goes to Gorrell. Then to Riles. Was there a hint of a forward pass there? Green Shields is with the ball. Tackle by Galea. Dragons attacking. Tigers in trouble. Right in the goal mouth area. 8 metres out from the line. They go to the right for Gorrell to hit Riles, and Riles pull down 2 metres out from the line. Tackle by Gibbs. Gorrell's pass for Barrett. Second man plays all over the place. He's not held. Green Shield. Did he get the ball down? Simpkins wants to have a look at it.
Just looking at grounding there. Double move.
So it's Clint Greenshields, the fullback, who's under examination here.
May well be a penalty against the Dragons here. Simpkins believes it might be a double movement. He's grounded short, held. Well, he doesn't get the football to line. It'll just be a knock on. Better play from the Dragons there. Like the Tigers do so well at the other end of the field. They had plenty of bodies in motion. There's no way it's a try.
I'm almost sure too, Peter, had he have made the paint, if he'd made the line work, it would have been a penalty for double movement because the tackler at no stage dropped off.
It's actually a better result for them. They'll just give the football away plus 10 metres instead of maybe a kick finding touch 20, 30 metres down the track.
No try there. We'll have a scrum here with a scrum feed to the West Tigers, and I've got to say there are a lot of big sport going on, a lot of milestones. Commonwealth Games, 99th year of rugby league. But Rabbits, they tell me this is your 40th year, the anniversary of your 40th year of rugby league calling. Is that true?
It is true, and it takes the mind back to the first match I ever did was Barmedman versus West Wyalong in 1966. Joey Walsh was playing for Barmedman. He went on to play in the 69 grand final for Balmain, who are on show here tonight. Forward pass there.
Great opportunity here for the Dragons.
Get it in the front foot. Get in the tunnel.
Centre field scrum. Barrett, Gaznia, Cooper. They've all been active. They're looking for the line.
Here's Barrett. Preferring so often, it would appear, to go right side. And that's where Gaznia finds himself most of the time. They have played on the same side a couple of times, but Gaznia is based on the right. Cooper is on the left. So the ball played by Riles. A sloppy play the ball. Barrett goes back to the middle. Forward on the charge. It looked like a 16 it was. The penalty has gone to the Dragons. It was Bickerstaff.
Hold, Darren. Go.
So Gorrell takes the tap. Barrett crosses the 10. Takes the tackle. Still in the centre of the ground. Barrett held by Farah. Then Gorrell. Now Bailey at a standing start. That's of no use to anybody. They didn't clamp the ball though. He's able to offload. Here's Greenshields having another dig. And Greenshields to play the ball. 4 metres from the line. Gorrell goes to Dean Young. Young looking to free the ball. He can't. He's held by the defence. Still a couple of metres out from the Tigers line. Gorrell, Barrett, long ball, Hornby, off his right foot, steps back into the defence. 10 metres out, Gaznia, he wants it still on the right side. Gorrell got the call, goes running towards Gaznia, puts a kick in, it's a try! Gaznia has scored! Gaznia has scored! Absolutely beautiful! Telepathic, I think is the word.
He's come through like a thief in the night, Mark Gaznia. And if there was one man who wasn't disappointed to see Michael Ennis go north of the border to Brisbane, it was Aaron Gorrell. He was cut by the Dragons at the end of last season. When Michael headed north, he was recalled. Tonight he's come off the bench and he's put the little kick through that may put his side in front. It locks the score up, but with the conversion to come and not far out from half-time, that little kick which bounced between Brett Hodgson and Benji Marshall has got the Dragons going the right way towards the break.
Look where Benji Marshall was defending there, out on the left wing.
Nagama now. 10 in from touch. Again on the 20-metre line. Familiar for Nagama. He missed the first Gaznia try from here. This looks better. We have found a goal. 2 points for the Dragons to go 10-8 up.
So you can't hide in rugby league. Every NRL coach in the league is watching this tonight, and they will now know that when Benji Marshall drops out onto the wing to have a rest in defence, he can't field to the grubber kick. He's going to get him peppered at him all year. You can't hide in this game.
So we approach half-time with the Dragons putting their nose in front for the first time. That is Fulton, who suffered that crippling shoulder injury at the second minute of the game. Bailey able to unload. That's legitimate stuff. It's going away to Young, and Young in the middle of the ground is tackled by his opposite number, Farah, almost on the halfway line as it comes off the boot of Gorrell. The ball going down towards the line. Hodgson willing it across the line. He's going to have to play at it. It's going to be a line dropout. Good chase, enthusiasm from Simmons, the right winger.
Well, that was superb by a couple of players in the Dragons outfit who didn't play a lot of first grade last year. Aaron Gorrell, a pinpoint kick into the in-goal area. And Brett Hodgson, who is very, very good on his feet, couldn't beat Reece Simmons, who made a decision. He saw there was a chance of coming up with a tackle in the in-goal. He raced up in front of the other defenders. And a look of disappointment says it all for the Tigers. A couple of minutes to go, and they are important minutes with the restart from under the posts.
Here's the line dropout at 10-8, the Dragons' way, and Riles is the man that replies and takes it to 35 metres away from the Tigers' line. The 14 is Justin Poore, one of these monsters they've got in the Dragons' forward lineup. They're a chance here. Second man, Hornby, Barrett, Young taken down, 15 away from the line. Payton and Gibbs, the tacklers. Gorrell for Hornby, and it's put to ground by Justin Poore. Nothing like a Friday night. You get the Bundy out, give yourself a shot, then go for the Carlton mid, and then drive your Holden the next day. So that should keep the sponsors happy for the rest of the season. Here's Collis, almost to the 30-metre line now. 10-8. You could be forgiven for thinking that this match was about round 26, could you not?
Well, apart from some mistakes that I don't think we'll see further into the season, yes, and I've got to say, going into the break, if the Dragons lead, in my opinion, it's against the run of play. I think the Tigers have been more impressive than their opposition, but it's not going to be reflected on the scoreboard possibly as Farah throws a pass to the big man, Bryce Gibbs, who can't control the football. Another chance for the Dragons.
So Barrett starts what probably will be the last set for the Dragons. They're 38 metres out from the line as Simmons comes scampering away from the sideline. One of the smallest wingers in the game. Comes from Gorrell, hits Riles on the chin and bounces forward. Oh, Riles and Gibbs, they come together. Riles with the right, replied by Gibbs. And now Justin Poore gets involved with Todd Payton. They
It is, and we're fortunate that hasn't got out of hand.
Jason?
It's like a tag match.
Lost the ball through the first page. Jason Rolls wouldn't have started over.
Okay, same report? Okay, we'll do it. Jason, go. Go. Go.
10 minutes for Jason Riles. I fancy for dissent. It's not. I don't think it's the foul play.
I think it's a combination, Ray. I think he's been involved in a couple of the little skirmishes earlier.
Okay. All right, listen here, hey, you two. You stay out of it. We have the other one under control. We'll already deal with that. We don't need your help, okay? Off you go. I told you before what's going to happen to these blokes. If they continue, we're going to keep them marching, okay? You understand the message? You've got the message, Trent?
Yeah. He's second man in.
That's my decision, Trent. That's all over. You control it from here.
So it's seconds out.
I think he got it exactly right, Simpkins. There's a cutout pass. It hits him in the head. Now Bryce Gibbs comes up, pushes him. Absolutely no reason at all to come and throw the right. He's let his team down there, Jason Riles, and they'll be without him for the first quarter of the second half. Frustration and silliness from an experienced player.
Spurred on by the embarrassment of the ball hitting him on the chin. The embarrassment turned to frustration and then to stupidity. Almost on half-time and on halfway. It's Prince firing the pass away. They're 40 metres out from the Dragons' line. That is O'Hara in 16. As Farah goes away, throwing dummy after dummy. Hodgson comes in, Marshall comes up, and the ball goes to ground, knock on.
He did well there. Reece Simmons, he's made some really good decisions. And getting roundly applauded by his teammates as Benji Marshall has caught one up around the face area. Half-time, he signalled a narrow lead to the Dragons.
So it is half-time, and some disturbing pictures there for the Tigers with Marshall just having a feel at the cheekbone, the jaw.
This weekend from the Barclays English Premier League. The Saturday night triple header kicks off at 11:30 with a real cracker from Stamford Bridge. League leaders Chelsea take on London rivals Tottenham Hotspur.
They are absolutely running riot here.
Followed at 2 by Big Sam and his Wanderers against an impressive-looking West Ham outfit.
Great shot! Fantastic goal!
And at 4:15, we wrap up the Saturday night triple header with Blackburn Aston Villa. Sunday afternoon at 1, tune in for a full replay of Birmingham's derby match with West Brom. Then on Monday morning, live at 12:30, Man United, back on home turf, face Newcastle. And at 3 a.m, live from Highbury, the Arsenal have a tough test at home to Raffers Reds. This weekend, the Saturday night triple header kicks off at 11:30 with Chelsea Spurs. Monday morning, it's Man U Newcastle, followed by Arsenal Liverpool.